everybody, and welcome to the Early Watch. I'm Jimmy, and with us, as always, Mr. Tony York. I think. Tony, we can't hear you. Or I can't hear you. My output's working because I heard the song, so I don't know. But sorry I'm a little late, guys. My IBS was acting up again. Had to take a couple stops over there at the Turlet.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir. You're loud and clear.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
Technology is wonderful, ain't
Eh, not as good as some would like to make it seem.
it? No shit.
How you doing this morning? How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Um, you know, let me tell you something about too much protein. it's it's overrated, brother. Overrated, and it
Well,
gets messy.
surprisingly, it will make you friends with the toilet.
Yeah, yeah. I had a protein packed day yesterday. Cause me and my wife went out like we go out like once a week or something like that, nothing extravagant and get crazy, but we went out and we hit this like little Asian buffet in Vegas, and oh my god, like, I don't know what it was. I think it's what it was is that they cooked all their food in the same grease, because everything had like a tinge of like rosemary to it, and it was just I don't know. Ugh. But anyway, so I tried to stay like healthy as I could while we was out eating. So I was eating mostly like fish and fucking beef and all the protein pretty much, and I'm paying the
No
price
fat,
today. Know what?
no fat.
I'm sure 3 of the 4 beefs that I ate were cats. Pretty sure. That might have been that rosemary and vinegar taste that I had. Come to think about
I
it.
haven't been to an Asian restaurant in several years. I got to
Well,
be in the mood for it.
would you consider a buffet a restaurant? I mean, yeah, yeah, it is. I always think of buffets as like the cheap versions of a restaurant, even though anybody that knows Vegas knows that buffets ain't cheap out there. But
Well, it's still the idea is going to a place that serves Asian food.
and then did you know that they automatically put 10% gratuity when you pay? Like you pay before you sit down and eat at a buffet. Obviously, everybody knows that. But now they're putting gratuity in the chat in the bill. I'm like, what? That kind of. I mean, first of all, I tip, but what if I wasn't gonna? You're gonna make me fucking tip, and then second of all, what if I was gonna give the bitch 15%? You're just sticking her with. I guess 10 is better than nothing. I guess, but
Well, buffet is kind of a little different because most people serve themselves.
yeah, but you still got the lady running back and forth, bringing you drinks and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. I usually always leave at the buffet. At least a $7 to $10 tip, depending on how much it costs. But eh, take my five, fuck it, or my $3.50, $3, no, like $3.25.
The thing I really don't like about that is they split them tips up,
Yeah,
so you're not really able to, reward your server if you really like the person's service.
yeah, and that also, I mean, I don't know if I was just digging too deep into it, but it kind of promotes bad service. Like, oh, I already got my tip. Here's your fucking drink, and you know what I mean. Oh, you need a new utensil because you left it on the plate and I took it. Well, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I suppose that is a possibility.
I had to get up 2 separate times to get a new fork. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. My wife said I was stupid. She's like, you have to leave it on the napkin and don't fucking. I don't know. I don't know
Or
who.
grab 6 forks when you get your first one.
Yeah, that's just go get 5 of them and put them on the corner of the table. But I don't know. That could have been my fault, but I just think it's weird. I like to leave my own tips. I like to
Me
think
too.
I like to think that I'm a fair tipper. I usually, I go above and beyond. Like if it's a $60 fucking thing, I'll give them like a 20 if they were great. If they sucked, I'll give them like a
You know,
5.
the thing is that people who bitch about waitresses and the like getting paid low and making up for it in tips just can't quite figure out that they generally make way more on tips than they made if they was paid, minimum wage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. That's why I don't know if you guys have ever seen Reservoir Dogs, but I'm kind of with Steve Buscemi. If you don't like your job, get a new one, and they should be paying these ladies, well, and dudes, they should be paying these people more.
But the thing of it is they can make more tips.
Yeah. Well, then go be a stripper. I think Europe doesn't do tips. I'm kind of with
Yeah, I
that.
know it.
I'm kind of with
But
that.
the thing is, I had a couple of daughters that worked at places that got tips, and they were making like 100, 250 bucks a day in tips.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've trust me, I know. I've seen it. My wife's sister is a fucking or was a waitress. She get yeah. Oh yeah. It's
It's
easy
like
to clear 100
you ain't
extra
gonna
bucks
go,
every day.
you ain't gonna go and get a job somewhere else that's basically not a technically skilled job and make that kind of.
Yeah, I mean to be a good server, really all you need to be able to do is to walk, have decent balance, and be a good person. You don't even have to be a genuinely good person. Just kind of be nice.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
but
one of the reasons why my daughters did so well with it because I raised them with the idea that you be polite and have good manners.
yeah.
Hey,
And I'm not talking like your daughters necessarily either, but being cute kind of helps with the tip
well,
wise.
there is that. But I had tipped guys really well that weren't cute.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
did
yeah,
the job.
yeah. Me too. They had to be cute, but no, but yeah. I mean, if you do a good job, you're like I said. Usually, 2 people dinner is around $60 to $100, and if they do good, I'll give them a 20. If they do shit, I'll give them a 5. They'll still get something out of me, even the shitty ones.
Yeah, if it's kind of crappy, at least just blasé about the whole thing.
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah, hey, yeah, that's when they're like that. Hey, hey, babe, you got any extra singles in your purse that I could use? Just throw them on the table. Yeah. Oh yeah. Um.
There's been a lot of members of my family that were waitresses, and you kind of get into that mentality of tipping as part of their wage. So
Yeah.
it's
Well, yeah, and I've had people explain it to me as well, so I got it now. I've always been a decent tipper, but I'm a little less against it now. Where I was like, they should just raise up your guy's wage or fucking find a better job. But I've come to accept it a little bit more now that I kind of understand it. But I still think ultimately raise their fucking wage, and it's hard because they got food costs and all that extra shit that they got to deal with. I guess so.
well, the thing of it is if you don't want to fucking tip, go to fucking McDonald's.
Are you joking me? They have a tip jar at McDonald's. Everywhere has a tip jar now. Everywhere has a tip jar now.
Yeah, you can ignore it.
You could. Or you could also tip your local fucking guy at Home Depot for mixing your paint or what. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I don't know. It's weird shit. Everybody thinks that they get a
Well,
tip now.
I don't think that like the guy at Home Depot is underpaid in the way a waitress would. I mean, they have a separate fucking minimum wage that's considerable. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Ain't it like in or around $10?
I
Or
don't
is
know
it
how
still
old
less
it
than
was,
that?
but I seen something just the other day where like federal minimum wage for regular people $7.50 and three something.
Holy shit. I thought it was higher than that.
It could be now. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how old that was. Paying that close attention to it. I've seen it.
Because I know some of these little
And I
bastards
know.
at McDonald's are getting $15 an hour.
Yeah, my daughters. This would have been, 20 years ago. They were no. Yeah, it would have been about 20. They were making dollars an hour plus tip.
See, back then, though, that wasn't that bad. I remember in fucking, what was it, 2003? I had a car wash job and I was getting paid like $5 an hour. But that was heavily also relying on tips. I guess I was kind of a waitress in a way.
I suppose. I don't know what all is included in that two-tier wage system. To be honest,
That's what I
I
don't
knew
get.
it was for waitresses. I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I think minimum wage should just be minimum wage. I don't get the whole two-tier thing. But like I said, I do understand that there's a food cost and there's probably an overhead and all this other extra shit that they got to pay for.
I don't think there are tax opportunities either.
Mm-mm. Trump's
That
Trump,
really,
they're taking that away if Trump gets elected, or if actually Kamala gets elected too. They're supposed to, both of them say they're going to take taxes away from service workers, tips, and Social Security.
'cause that's a friggin' gift.
Yeah. At that point, at that point. See, and I don't know how much I agree with that too, because should their tips be taxed? Say that 10 times fast.
Well, it's in description. It's a gift, gratuity.
Right.
You're not required to give it to them, so you give it to them out of kindness of heart. And no, that shouldn't be taxed. Although I think paying into Social Security would be a wise option. Good.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's what you said, right? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say because the dollar something an hour, or whatever the fuck it is now, that they're taking Social Security on, and make your retirement fucking god awful when you have retirement age or if it hurt or you can't work.
Right. Yeah, see, and that's what you said earlier about the whole gratuity thing. That's just why I kind of feel weird about it being on the ticket.
Yeah, I agree. It's always been considered a gift from my standpoint. Being forced to pay it, no longer a gift.
Yeah, now I don't wanna. You're gonna make me. Now I don't wanna. I don't know.
They just raise your fucking prices and give them the amount of money that you should.
Yeah, because my wife had to tell me yesterday. She was like, "No, you paid for it on the fucking check." I was like, "What?" And then sure shit enough, gratuity was included. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm giving this motherfucker nothing."
I especially don't like it because they split it amongst their staff.
Oh, did they split it amongst the staff, or I thought that the doesn't the house get it too? Don't they get a percentage of it? The actual
I
establishment.
don't know about that part. I don't know about that part. Shouldn't.
I don't know.
I don't know how the back line involved. Cooks generally aren't tipped in a general restaurant situation, so they should be paid enough to, have a wage to live. But I don't know how to run it.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, DJ says
What?
$2.13 an hour for waitresses in Nebraska.
$2.13.
$2.13.
What's up,
Told
DJ?
you it was fucking low.
Holy shit, man. Morning, Pat.
Patriot.
His real name isn't Pat. It's just short for Patriot, just so you guys know. But anyway, I can't believe it's that low. Holy crap.
It makes you wonder why anybody would fucking do it.
Servers tip out the kitchen. I've had, you say that the cooks don't usually get, I can see cooks getting tipped because I've had a steak before, fucking ribeye, and I had to tip the guy. Nobody cooks it medium rare like you want to. It's either too rare or too cooked. Nobody does it right. Nobody does it. I challenge you to find a restaurant that does medium rare right. And this guy did it. And I gave him...
And that's perfect. That's perfectly acceptable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tipped the guy. I was like, fuck this. I'm tipping him. The waitress kind of sucks. She still got the same tip. But I'm like... I was ignorant to the whole fact that they had to split everything and all that shit. I thought whoever gets the tip gets the tip.
I think that on the bill gratuity part of the bill, I think that's just split amongst the staff.
That's crazy, man. And I wonder if they get their tip. I wonder if they get cashed out at the end of the night, or if they have to wait until their check to get paid the tip.
That I don't know.
That's interesting because that kind of takes away the coolness of the waitress. That shit, the waitress job to me is cool because you get to come home with 100 fucking singles or something like that. Like, that'd be cool. And $100 a day isn't horrible, even in the way that things are going now with the economy and everything. It's not bad.
Well, you got to figure it'd be 117 if you consider the pay.
Well, yeah, right, yeah. But I'm saying coming home with that in cash every single day, you're like a drug dealer that's not that good at his job.
Well, if you work 5 days a week, that's half a fucking grand a week.
Right. On top of your check.
Yeah. That's the checking rate. Shit. $100.
Yeah, true.
But, that's still probably better than you're going to make at another entry-level job that just pays minimum wage or slightly above. My old lady don't make $500 a week. Well, let me rephrase it. She don't bring home.
DJ said
Actually, she brings home $30.50 a week. But there's, insurance, medical deductions, and retirement and shit.
Yeah.
To come out of that, she would probably bring home about $650. She didn't have any deductions beyond taxes.
Um,
20% of her tips in cash.
See,
that seems pretty low.
So they might, and it says charge tips are in the tab. He got tipped as a busboy one summer in high school. Not all of them, and not much, but servers tip out bartenders too. I could see that.
I had people try to tip me as a mechanic.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, I was 15 years old in 2003, something like that, and fucking, they were tipping me. They were tipping me crazy, and I looked like a fucking grown man at 15, so it wasn't because I was a cute little kid. Charge tipping is the thing now, so okay, I hate it, so I'll let the record show.
Well, that sucks because that lets the amount they're tipped get kept too close to track of.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate it. I don't like it for the lady. Well, for the people. There's dudes now too. I forgot, but I don't like it for the people, the workers. I don't like it for us. You're taking away my freedom of choice, son of a bitches.
Yeah, and taking away the actual wanting to reward the server that did the job that you thought deserved a more
More,
generous gratuity.
yeah, more than $10 or 10%. I mean, it's 10%. I mean, if you have a $30 dinner, you're getting $3. That ain't shit. And you probably had to work your ass off.
There, there again, in Vegas, you
Oh
know,
yeah, you're never gonna
they
pay.
may
Yeah.
be leaning that away because there's so many people that come from places that don't tip, foreign people.
Oh yeah,
So
I could see that.
tourism might play a lot of that.
Yeah, I could see that. Just like I said in the beginning, I could see 10% being better than nothing because just because you and me can go to 15, 20%, I could see people doing 0% and just walking out. So yeah, I guess maybe it balances itself out. Previous advantages in cash tipping is gone except for strippers. Yeah. Um, Patriot always tips in cash. Yeah, that's how I do it. Like I said, I usually, you know, if they're good, I give them a big tip. If they're bad, I give them a smaller tip. Um,
Depends on where I'm at. Restaurants where it's a small establishment, I'll tip and just add it onto the bill because, uh, there's only one server
right. Yeah.
and the owner is the cook and they don't split the tips. But
Yeah. I like that. Oh,
yeah,
Patriot says even when they charge. See, they have to be exceptional. This is the first time it's ever happened to me, at least that I've noticed, where the tip was included in the gratuity. I've heard about it before, but this is the first time I've ever witnessed it. I didn't like it, and the lady sucked. So they brought us, you know what they did? They brought us two cups, two full big ass cups of fucking soda. I got a Diet Coke and she got an iced tea, and they just brought us two big ass cups. I didn't even finish the second cup. I didn't even start drinking the second cup. I'm like, why the fuck did they bring us this? And it was so they didn't have to come back. I saw the busboy cleaning up our empty plate. I wanted to almost tip him, but yeah, I could see how buffets do it, I guess, but
well, you probably did.
I'm not a buffet guy. I usually don't go to buffets, so I never. Well, oh, you mean I've probably encountered it before and just didn't look down at the bottom of
No,
the
no,
check?
no. You probably tipped the busboy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, they probably did. He probably got 3% of that or
I've
whatever.
seen I've seen several people that work in restaurants that were hotly pissed off about waitresses making so fucking much money on tips.
What do you mean, like the cooks and stuff?
You know, yeah. Uh,
Like that motherfucker pulled in $150 today and I didn't get shit. That type of shit.
I a friend of mine was a cook here at a local restaurant. He's like, "Can you believe these bitches are making $100 in tips a night?" And I work in the fucking hot kitchen. I'm only making like $60 a night. Hey, that's the fucking deal.
Yeah, that's how it works, man. You got the wrong. You should have applied for the server position. Um, DJ says his girl gets stiffed at a minimum a few times a week. One of her jobs is an upscale breakfast place. Lots more average tips for her, so it's running her ragged for small money some days. So, yeah, that would suck. I could see that having a $40 day, an 8 hour $40 day on top of your $2 check.
Yeah, they're not all great days.
That's why the days that are good boy or girl, you better save some of them tips.
The thing of it is like if you go to some places, they'll have a breakfast rush from like 6 in the morning until about 9,
Yeah.
and then from 9 till noon, it's fucking dead. And the waitresses will work from like 6 till 2, and then the second shift waitress work 2 until whatever the fuck she works,
Mm.
and that first shift waitress makes twice the fucking tips just because she's working that much fucking more.
Well, also you could probably figure the section like because what they split waitresses up into sections, and maybe one section they had good tippers and the other section was shit or so. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I could see
Yeah,
that
most of the
happening.
places I deal with, there ain't sections. These are small.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like those kind. I like diners and shit like that though. It just feels more like not homey, homish, home like, but kind of. It's hard to explain, but I like diners though, man.
I mean, like, did I receive service I thought was worth $10? You betcha. Here's $10.
That's where I've
Uh,
that's where
you
I
know, you've been
usually that's where I've usually gotten my best service at is places like that.
yeah. Even if the breakfast cost 8,
Yeah, fuck it. Here's a 10.
yeah. So,
Here's 15.
although these days $8 breakfast is probably about gone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You got to go to a place that has like a deal going on for that day or something, and by yourself.
I think our two locals that we frequent here, both of them are probably $15 breakfasts. I mean, it's a lot of food, so I ain't bitching.
Yeah.
It's still not the sub $10 meal it was when we started going there 10 years ago.
Yeah, but that is the thing with diners too, is that they like to give extra. I don't know if it's on purpose or on accident, but they always give extra shit. So it's like usually an entire plate of food.
Oh
So
shit! Usually when we go to these, it's 2 or 3 plates
yeah,
for breakfast. I mean, you get like pancakes or a waffle, eggs and bacon or sausage, whatever you like, and then a plate of hotcakes, or you know, biscuits and gravy, which is what I would choose.
yeah. Let me see here. You never have a space that says I'm going to give cash tip. Yeah, that's very small writing at the bottom of the receipt. At least that's the one that I've encountered. Um, I don't like when they charge a tip before they make it deliver your food. That see, we did DoorDash a couple times before, and the last time that we did it was like a year ago, and it was before that. It was before the fire, so it was like almost pretty getting close to a year and a half, 2 years ago. Um, and the last time we did it, the guy just like I know it was contactless delivery or whatever like that, but there was no notification, no nothing like that. Our food was sitting out front for like 20 minutes, and nobody knew. Nobody knocked on the door. No one texted the food's here. None of that shit. I just stopped. But at least with that, you could pick your
I
percentage.
I don't do home delivery of food.
No,
I
I don't
just
anymore.
I don't want to tip as much as it should be worth, given gas expenses and whatnot. Just go get it myself. I'm talking 10 fucking blocks.
Yeah, just get in the
Ain't that
fucking
big a
car.
damn deal.
Just get in the car. Go get that shit. That's yeah. Like I said, I tried it, didn't like it, never again. And I've had pizzas delivered before, like regular style, not any of these apps or anything like that. Just had pizzas delivered before, and that's, I mean, it hasn't been in a long time, but I usually tip the guy when he gets there. How fast is it? My shit is fucked up, and you know, if my shit's good and it was pretty quick, here's fucking 10 extra bucks, whatever.
Well, usually pizzas, the only thing I got is Casey's pizzas, and that's pretty much the deal of just go get it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that fucking much trouble.
yeah,
Hey, can you cover for about 4 minutes? I gotta go make more coffee.
yeah. I'm gonna get into some gun news here and stuff like that. So yeah, you're good.
All right.
Actually, if the audience can hold on for about 2 more minutes, I gotta go take a fat shit. I do got a shit though, but I will wait. There are no gun-related ballot measures initiated by voters in 2024. That, I mean, there's no gun-related ballot measures initiated by voters in 2024. That's a good thing to me. We don't need any more ballots. We don't need any more extra back and forth. State Fair of Texas with a new gun ban after courts reject challenge. That's interesting to hear the words gun ban and Texas in the same sentence. Let's see what you guys are. You guys saying anything? What up, Scotty? Um, yeah, you guys are still talking about tips, so I don't know. True cost of America's gun obsession. New York Times, of course. You know that's gonna be. Police Department, Harlingen teen arrested, brings loaded gun to school. Stupid ass. It's always negative shit. There's never like fucking when you type in gun news in Google, you never get like the brand new fucking whatever the fuck is out or the best gun in years, or the 4 firearm safety rules we should all follow. GOA comes up every now and again, but that's because they actually have news and they're a gun and so that's AP. The Associated Press has always been back and forth too with me. Fuck them. Guns Gallup. Historical trends. In general, do you feel the laws covering the sale of firearms should be made more strict, less strict, or kept as they are now? Less strict. Less strict. But if we could just keep everything off of the ballot for right now, I'd be fine. Maybe drop some prices. Drop a few prices. I'd love that one. Associated Press. Why Kamala Harris is highlighting her gun ownership. Because she wants idiots to vote for her and then fucking turn around and do whatever the fuck she's told when it comes to guns. Anybody that thinks that Kamala owning a gun and saying that she'll kill a motherfucker on Oprah means anything, probably still votes. The looser a state's gun laws, the more mass shootings. I disagree with that. I've lived in Arizona for a very long time, and it was safe. And it was the safest in areas where everybody was walking around with a fucking gun on their hip. Just saying. Never felt safer than when I seen a bunch of fucking hillbillies in fucking flannel shirts walking around with their shit tucked in and their guns fucking hanging out. Never felt safer. Let's see. The Second Amendment to the Constitution, which concerns the right to bear arms, is always a hot button issue. It's made into a hot button issue. There's nothing hot button about it. It's just that fucking, which I think it's great, right? I think it's great, and you guys could chime in on this hopefully, but I think it's great that everybody can own a gun. I think it's fantastic, and I think that that's the way it should be. But should everybody own a gun? That's been kind of like running around in my head these past couple of years, watching everybody turn into idiots and then just adding guns into the equation. Guns are obviously not what the problem is. It's the people that are the problem. But I could say the same thing with voting nowadays. Like with voting, do we want all of these useful idiots? Like, shit, I don't know. maybe have an IQ test before you go into the voting booth, and if you're in the double digits, get the fuck out of here.
Christ, you can't even get them to have ID and vote.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, guys. Wasn't prepared this morning.
that's all right. They just listen to me mindlessly ramble about gun news for a couple seconds.
I would like to see, some sort of standard for voting, but how the hell do you implement that and be fair?
And there's a guy standing at every booth, and they say, "What are three of the policies of the person you're voting for?" I guess that takes away the anonymity, though, because then you'd have to tell them the policies of the person you're voting for, and that'd give it away. Yeah, I don't know. There's really no.
90% of the people voting wouldn't fucking know 30. They might know one.
Yeah, I'm just.
They may have 30 fucking talking points.
There's so many people that are fooled that Kamala Harris is a strong black woman that I feel like there's going to be the whole Obama effect again. And people are going to vote for this
Fucking look
Indian.
at her. She don't even look black.
Yeah, no, people are going to vote for this Indian lady for fucking, because they think she's black. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And then they're like, I was watching this something the other day, and they're like, she gets it. She's black. She's a person of color. She's fucking a woman. She knows all of the struggles. I'm like, no, this bitch she's probably had money for a very long time, if not into, I don't know how she was raised or how she grew up or whatever. Supposedly she came up on the fucking deep south side of Chicago in a rough neighborhood, which I don't believe. No one's ever brought it up before. I've never heard of it before. I heard of Obama
The last
back when he was the senator.
thing I seen,
Go ahead.
that fucker grew up in Kenya.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But he was a Chicago senator or whatever the fuck. I still heard of him. I never heard of Kamala Harris.
Fuck, I'm from Illinois, and I hadn't heard of that cocksucker before he started running for president.
I heard of Obama before, but he had the whole fucking Blagojevich selling Blagojevich's seat to Obama thing. At what was his name? I almost said Martin Luther King Jr. Fucking Jesse Jackson Jr. They had that whole shit. That's where I really kind of heard of him from. But
Yeah, but that was after he started running for president.
yeah. You're right. You are right.
So I said before he started running for president, I hadn't heard of that fucker.
Yeah, they said he had a Senate seat or something like that, and I'm like, when?
Yeah, he was an Illinois senator.
Her dad was a Marxist professor, and professors, I'm not sure the mom, but it doesn't sound like she lived a fucking bad life. And Marxist is that whole like socialist thing or whatever. So even I want her in office even less now. More socialist
the thing of
bullshit.
It is that how stupid are people when they can look back at the last years and see what their wallet, and then go back just a year and a half prior to that while Trump was in office and look at their fucking bank statements from then.
Yeah, no shit. But you know what though? And that's the thing too. One of my favorite fucking Trump smear campaign things are when he put up the fucking Bidenomics is working. Kamala Harris was explaining like a loaf of bread is double the price, and like, yeah, bitch, and it's all because of you. And fucking like, I've actually caught myself yelling at the TV. It's because of you and Biden. But I don't know how smart people are, man. Like I said, I think people are just going to be like strong, independent, black person of color. She gets my vote.
Listen, you idiot cunt. We're all colored.
Yeah. I love that people of color thing, because, I mean, white people are peach. Some of them are red, like beet red, not Indian red. Some are tan.
Some of us just have larger green color accents.
Yeah.
and I'm not one of those.
I mean, even if they were pale
I
white, white
guarantee
is
you
on
that
the
bitch
spectrum.
made more in the last. That bitch has made more in the last 4 years than I made my whole fucking life.
Oh yeah, for sure, and has done less, marginally less.
Oh yeah, I
Patient.
went to my family doc last Tuesday for
Mm.
follow up, and he said all my testing shows that all my blood testing shows that my uh, system looks really, really good for somebody who's as old as I am. He said your testosterone is way higher than your average dude of 63. He said, in fact, I don't think I've seen anybody your age higher. I'm like, Doc, that explains a few things.
You start working out, Tony. You got that much testosterone. Be a fucking power lifter.
This kind of explains why my dick don't ever want to shed its eyes.
It's eye, one
And we
eye.
keep looking. I know.
Oh God. Well, speaking of one-eyed snakes, have you been keeping up with this whole Puff Daddy thing, the P Diddy thing?
Uh, only very limitedly in passing. I've heard about it. Evidently, this fucker is one of the most horrible human beings to ever live, from what I hear.
I mean, he was doing the same thing Epstein was doing, though. He was having powerful people come to his house, letting them get drugged and fuck people, and taping it. I don't like. I don't
I
know if
never
it's
heard of
minors.
Epstein. I never heard of Epstein bringing in cases of lube.
That's worse. That's worse. He's just. Can you imagine how much rug burn and friction is going on with no lube?
I don't know, man. I've not really ever sneaked into a dry hole myself.
Yeah, I know. I've never had. Yeah, I've never had to worry about the lube issue. But they had a lot of gay shit going on, and I don't know how wet the butt gets. So
Well, yeah, you do. You were just discussing it earlier.
yeah, but I don't think that would.
Protein.
I don't think that would be acceptable at a Puff Daddy party, though. I don't know, but maybe they like that kind of shit.
There are people that like weird fucking shit. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, they're talking about he's the new Epstein, and they got him in the. So they got him in the transport. The jail that Epstein was in, I didn't even know this, got shut down due to corruption. Would you
You
picture
don't
that?
say.
You picture that, huh? And then, but
I
he's
mean,
in.
on the corruption side, yeah, shutting down is a surprise.
Well, yeah, the corruption part. That's like, isn't that almost every facility? I kid. But yeah, so they're just thinking that he's gonna fucking Epstein himself and end up getting murdered. And a lot of people are stepping down. A lot of New York politicians, all that. I figured no one gives a fuck about New York anyway. I mean, New York is just as fucked as Chicago and just as fucked as California. So
You know, to think about it, most of the black guys I've ever met, and it's not been a huge number, but I don't think any of them would ever commit suicide. Their fucking ego is too big.
I mean, that could be anybody. I mean, look at me. I mean, but so yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are. I don't think he's. I don't know if he's gonna get murdered. I do think it's interesting that there's a lot of like politicians from New York and shit, and entertainers like shutting down their establishments and stepping down and resigning so they can still keep all of their benefits and all that other shit. It is interesting. I don't know if it went that deep,
Well,
but it
to
is
that
interesting.
end, I had 2 or 3 weeks back, 2 weeks for sure, 3 New York City mayor staff were raided by the
Ye-
Fed.
yeah, Eric Adams was one of them, and he was supposedly tied to the Puff Daddy thing. Well, I'm not saying Diddy. I don't even like saying Puff Daddy. I don't another man and daddy in the same sentence. I don't like, but I'm not gonna call him Diddy. But anyway, fucking Puffy. They fucking. I guess he was tied to Puffy some kind of way. So I don't know. Like I said, it's very interesting. I don't know who all he had involved in this shit, but there was a lot of sex trafficking, a lot of abuse on a lot of young ladies, and yeah, I could agree with you. Probably one of the worst human beings to exist, if all that shit is all that alleged shit is true.
Hey, good job. You can get by with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's what is he? He's, I think they said that he was 55 or 56, 55 or 56, something like that. And yeah, he's got a RICO charge. He's got a racketeering charge. So isn't that a minimum of 10 or 15 years? Something like
It's
that.
pretty steep.
Yeah, so yeah. But maybe he's got
Yeah,
testosterone like you, so he'll get out and keep fucking. I don't know.
I ain't shipping in lube. I can tell you that.
Well, he has his own personal preference. I'm not gonna knock him for being gay, beating up fucking beating up women and dragging them across state lines because they're drugged and against their will and all that other shit. That I have an issue with.
Yeah, you know, 50 years ago they'd have fucking lynched him for that shit.
Oh, he wouldn't. I mean, he wouldn't even have gotten in the position of power that he's in at that time either, though. But you know,
And
you
that's
are
true.
correct.
Yeah, they would have fucking made for a bad day for that fucker.
Yeah. I mean, 100 years ago, you think, not even 100 years ago. Shit, maybe 60 years. Wait, what is it? 24. Yeah, maybe like 60, 70 years ago, if he even looked in the direction of a white girl the wrong way, he would have got lynched.
Depending on the state he was in, you ain't fucking kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it. I can't even turn on the TV without seeing how horrible this fucking. Not even the country, the world. The country is my concern, but how shitty the world has just gotten. Stupidity, ignorance, and the ignorance is just stupidity now because it's ignorant people, but they're unwilling to learn. It's ignorance with arrogance, and it's just fucking crazy.
Yeah. You wonder the farther we quote unquote evolve, the stupider we get.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you know what? I was saying this a few years back on the show, but it's I really think technology is to blame. Now, obviously, it's the people using it the wrong ways, to be lazy, not have to do anything, that kind of shit. But the technology, man, like people, we were talking about door food delivery. People don't even got to work to get food anymore. It just comes to them. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's technology. I don't know if it's de-evolution. I don't know.
I don't know how much you remember of the internet like 20 years ago or so,
That's when I yeah no I do.
but
That's when I first started like I'm playing Doom and fucking printing up pixelated pictures of titties to go to the bathroom, like fold it up, put it in my pocket, go to the bathroom with it and shit. Like yeah, I remember that.
back then you could type something into the internet and actually find information you were looking for, not fucking 40 pages of goddamn ad.
Oh yeah, and don't even get me with that too. It's all fucking. It's all messed with. Like you type in fucking um, what was it? The taxation on tips on service workers and Social Security. You'll get all of how Kamala. I think I said this before. You'll get all of how Kamala Harris is a genius and cares about the people and is all for the people. And then when you look up, go couple pages over and you see Trump saying the same exact thing. There's articles about how he's costing America billions of dollars, and where are we gonna? You know what I mean? It's just like the news biased when it comes to the internet nowadays is ridiculous. It's
And that's the thing that kind of baffling. Information is out there. People just won't take a couple of minutes.
Well, yeah, and not even that, but just go to the next page of options or go down to the bottom. Usually people are looking up things, clicking the first thing that pops up, and that's their information for the day, or at least on the topic. It's just as bad as a few
I
years ago,
really,
people getting their news from Facebook, and I'm sure they still are, or Twitter, or whatever.
I am exceptionally discouraged about people's lack of seeking out information.
Yeah, it's almost like
And
research is
it's not,
taboo.
yeah, and it's not like it's was in the past where, when you typed in the information, you got it right away, but still, it doesn't take huge efforts to see the discrepancy.
Yeah. And you see, and like you said, when you see that bias, and I just don't understand how there's any going back.
It's like Trump said about them people in Georgia, there was good on both sides. And
Yeah.
they started touting that as racist. His very next line was, I don't mean those white supremacist type assholes.
What about they're coming in, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. I couldn't stop. That was on TV for fucking weeks. I think it's still on the TV. They're still making like rap songs about it and shit with the AI songs.
But if you fucking look, there are people that are putting shit up saying that it's actually fucking happening.
Oh yeah, yeah. People are taking people are taking the things that they get off of social media and using them as, or taking them as fact, and then speaking about them like they're fact. And it's just, I maybe that's how, as a society, we've gotten dumber. Just all the misinformation, maybe. I don't know. Nobody knows what's
Look,
real anymore.
if one fucking cat got ate, then it's true.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah. I remember when I was a little bit younger. I was still in Illinois, and or no, I'm sorry, I was in Arizona. This was when I first was in Arizona, and there's a restaurant called. There's all these Birdos, Filibertos, Rollabertos, Robertos. There's all these the Albertos, um, and they got all these different restaurants hanging around. One of them that I used to go to, it was on 24th Street in Van Buren, and they got shut down for a little while because they were using rat meat. So you know what I mean? I've eaten rat before, def guaranteed.
Well, it's not unheard of in other places in the world that people will eat dog.
Yeah,
I mean, there are certain Asian countries where dog is considered a delicacy,
I mean, listen, I would
and
go ahead.
it's kind of a thing that Chinese food could be made of cat, or Asian food. I don't know if it's solely Chinese. Now, I don't know that I've ever heard of that for real.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always been a running joke for the entirety of my life. That, you know what I mean, like TV, movies, that kind of shit.
Right. It had to come from something.
You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But see, now what if it was another country's? This is just a weird ass hypothetical. But what if it was another country's tradition to eat people? Like, I don't know, like say like they're, you know how like the Inuits, their old people will go and like not necessarily commit suicide, but won't eat and won't take any of this shit. They'll end up dying. Um, what if they like ate their old people or something like that, and then they come over here and try to keep doing that tradition? Besides getting arrested, that shit would never be accepted, right? Like I couldn't accept eating a dog. That's like almost.
Don't
It's
know.
different, but it's almost like eating a person to me.
The thing is that it depends on the status of the time.
Right now.
You know, if the bottom falls out in the world and fucking you got billions starving, eating dogs or people are, is going to become considerably less taboo for a lot of hungry motherfuckers. I tell you.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, look at the Donner Party. They ate the people who died.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I guess, but I'm saying right now where nobody's struggling at all right now. Well, I mean, there, don't get me wrong, there are still people that are paycheck to paycheck. There are still homeless, so there are people struggling. But on a whole, as a country, we ain't doing too bad. I'm saying
No,
with that,
no, we're doing considerably better than a lot of countries in Africa.
yeah, and possibly even worse than
You know,
some of the other countries in Africa.
a lot of those countries over there would not notice the difference that the fucking whole financial system of the world collapsed.
Yeah, but there's some rich countries in Africa that you could say the same thing about. Like they wouldn't even give a fuck. They still got all their gold and all their shit that you know what I mean? Like there's some countries that wouldn't even notice it.
I don't know, man. You can't eat gold.
But they got plenty of shit to fucking kill and eat. And I think that they don't mind eating dogs either. I don't know. I don't know how that goes. I don't want to put out a racist fact, but I don't know. I know fucking are hyenas considered dogs? Ain't they in Africa? I'm sure someone's eating a hyena.
I've heard of people eating coyote.
Yeah, that's please. That's canine the canine. If you're in the canine family, you're a dog to me. I've heard of people eating
Yeah, I'm
wolf.
pretty much with you. I don't want to eat a dog, but I was starving enough, especially if I had little kids around here starving.
Oh yeah, yeah. Scruffy's going in the
I'd be
pot. And we're
whistling
making
to the
stew.
dog. Come here, Catahoula stew.
Yeah. You're about to help this family in more ways than you ever thought you ever would, little guy.
This is the price of that new cedar bedding you got a couple years ago.
Yeah. Remember my favorite shoes? Well, this is revenge. Oh shit! All right. On that note, I think I'm gonna call it a little early, a couple minutes early. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I'm going to hit you with one more thing before you split.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'm literally about to split.
Do you remember why Britain and France declared war on Germany in World War II?
Didn't it have something to do with them going against the Treaty of Versailles?
Well, it was because Germany invaded Poland.
Yeah, and that broke their treaty, right?
And they went in there to save Poland. Yet throughout the whole of World War II, at the end, Poland ended up Russia. So what was the fucking real reason then? I seen a video that mentioned that, and I just thought it was a clever thing to bring up.
It is though because I mean it's just like fucking it's the what the fuck is it called? The military industrial complex. They need to keep in order to keep fucking their budget up, they need to keep selling ammo, they need to keep selling guns, they need to keep selling weaponry, they need to keep coming up with new shit. And how are they going to do that on an off time? We need war for money. I mean, war's always been good for the economy, and it's always got politicians rich. So there you go.
The guy that posted the video was British, and he said, he said, they told us that Poland. So, but at the end of the day, Poland became part of Russia, USSR.
Yeah. I don't know. I've
You know,
always suspicious of that older shit anyway. The older wars. Like I mean, I'm still part of me is still convinced that fucking America is owned by the UK and fucking Canada belongs to the French and fucking Southern America belongs to Spain. They gave France the little piece of shit up top. Here, have that little area. We'll take everything else.
well, the Nazis got a fair part of South America.
Yeah, but that was after. That was after. They let them escape there. A few
All right, man,
hundred
go
years.
take a shit.
Yes, sir. Don't have to tell me twice. Everybody, we will be back next week. I'll figure out a fucking video or a theme and all that other shit and put it up. You'll see it throughout the week. Like, share, subscribe, fuck off, and have a great day.
Good day, everybody.
No outro. I am fucking